In the series where I run my video game collection, I try and utilize places like car boot sales and charity shops in order to make money. And of course, places like Facebook Marketplace can be very good as well. But today I'm not using any of those. I'm going into CEX and they are going to pay for the games for me. There are many different ways you can make money off CEX. The most common is, of course, steelbooks. These are priced the exact same as a standard game in CEX. And then of course you can buy those and list them online and maybe make a little bit of money here or there. And you can buy them in CEX for the same price as you can the standard edition. And you sell it for a little bit more than what the standard one goes for. Some of them can go for a lot more. That's the most common way, and to be fair, it's the easiest. You walk into CEX and you scan every shelf looking for a tin. Some of them will have slipcovers, others won't. So if we're not going to use the steelbook method, which we kind of are, but we're not at the same time, how do we make money in CEX? We need to catch them slipping, which is something that you can do and something that I have done in the past. I've managed to do it with Rock Band 4 on the PlayStation 4, and there are a few other games as well. If you want to check out the series, you can find the playlist in the description. But in this video, I'm going to show you a few instances of where I've caught them slipping today. I may have bought one or two of them, others I've left there for other people. Maybe there's not quite enough meat on the bone for me personally, but if you're happy to make a couple of quid off one of these games, it could pay for one of your purchases in CEX. Unfortunately, unlike the steelbook method, you can't just go and look for these games. You need to know what they are, or you need to do your research. And often research means spending a long time in a CEX store, going through well, I wouldn't say each and every individual game, but going through a lot of them. And the more time you spend in places like CEX, or just looking at games in general, you'll be able to tell what is an uncommon cover and what is a common cover. And what I mean by that, of course, is how rare the game is. So I'm looking through, and if I see Need for Speed Carbon or Grid, for example, I know that they're common games, and yeah, they do have a little bit of value here or there, but generally they are going to be 10 a penny and you're going to be able to find them everywhere. But then if I look to my right and I see a game that I hardly ever see, that's the time you need to go and look it up. It is quite literally as simple as that, and on this occasion I managed to find a few. So one of the ones I found was on the PlayStation 3, and you'll find that Xbox 360 and in particular at the moment PlayStation 3 are the best platforms to try and look through for, because they are spiking quite quickly on eBay and CEX are a little bit behind. CEX have an unbelievable amount of video games in stock. They will miss the odd game, and that's where you come in. You walk in there and you have to try and find these. You can treat it as a game if you want to. For me personally, I just like looking at games and I look at the art and I appreciate the art for what it is, but also I do have a little bit of a nostalgia trip when I'm there. I see the odd game and I just smile to myself because I remember the time playing it. And then other times I'll look at it and go, oh, I don't see that very often. And that is when you scan the game. That's when you look it up. The first one, Air Conflict Vietnam on the PlayStation 3. Now they have this priced up at £8. I don't have the exact eBay price in front of me, but I do know that there have been some recent completed listings going for probably double the price that what CEX have it for. Only you know whether it's worth it or not. So for example, if this was selling for £10 on eBay consistently, no one was really getting any more, because by the time you list this on eBay and then you have to pay the fee and you have to pay the postage, which I do charge my customer for, but still you're probably not going to make any money off this. However, if this sells for £5 to £10 more than what CEX are selling it for, all of a sudden it can be worth it. And of course, if you put it on Facebook or indeed Vinted, there are no fees. So if you do manage to get more than what you've paid, you take it all home and it's profit at the end of the day. This next one is Young Justice Legacy. This was £3. Now, I don't see this very often. I do know about it. I do consider myself to be somewhat of an Xbox 360 guru, expert if you will. I just know a lot about the platform because it's the period of time where I played the most games. I've played nearly everything because I was an achievement junkie and I couldn't get enough of it. So I have played this before and I looked at the price and I thought £3 does seem a little bit low. I looked it up and yeah, it goes for about triple this on eBay, maybe a touch more. So I bought it. Now I took this to the counter and the guy said, oh, I don't see this very often. It only came in yesterday. And he actually said, why are you buying it? I mean, why am I buying it? Well, I want to play it, obviously. It's actually going to go into my collection. And this is going to be one of the games that I show you in the next video in that series. Link down below. But I was completely honest. I mean, I say completely honest as if I was going to sell this on. But I mean, it's possible. But I said, look, this goes for triple this on eBay. He said, what? So £9. Fast math. really was impressive. I'm not going to go and spend triple the price of a game on eBay when I can get it from you for £3. But he was just laughing because I was buying it just because it's triple the value on eBay. Now, I wasn't actually planning on selling it. I suppose maybe he was thinking, so you're actually going to sell it and get £9 for it. What's the point in making £5-6 profit? Which a lot of you may agree with. But if you say, well, I'm going to buy this for £3, I'm going to sell it for a tenner. Let's just say after fees, I make £5 profit on this. That is now £5 I can spend in CEX guilt-free, knowing full well my money is safe in this game. That is £5 free money. That's essentially what my series is all about. It may only be £5 to £10 in profit, but if you do that 4 or 5 times, you've got yourself a brand new release. I did find a fair few more, and maybe I bought them, maybe I didn't. You'll have to check out the next episode in my series for that. However, the next one I found I was tempted by. However, there were a few things that I wasn't really happy with, and I didn't really want to take the risk on it. It is a Wii U game. It is SpongeBob SquarePants Plankton's Robotic Revenge. Now, this is £42 in CEX. This is an expensive game for the Wii U. And I say expensive, a lot of you don't consider £42 expensive. I get it. However, I do. So I thought, right, 42 quid, it's going to have to go for a hell of a lot more than that on eBay for me to be interested. However, the first thing I did wasn't actually to go to eBay. The first thing I did was to see how many CEX as a company had in stock. That is another way you can immediately tell how rare a game is. If you look it up and there's only 1 or 2 in stock in the entire company, that's a lot of CEX stores, and there's only 1 or 2, this is a rare game. And yes, as suspected, there were about 6 in stock across the entire company, so this is a pretty rare game. I went to eBay and I was met with more of the same. Completed sold listings are in and around the £42 price tag, so I was a little bit disappointed, shall we say, by that, because I thought, well, if I buy it for 42 and sell it for 42, I'm not making any money. In fact, I'm losing money because of the fee. But then I looked at the ones that are currently listed, and the next cheapest was around 55, 56, and it was coming from France, I believe. It may have been Ireland. I think it was France. The next cheapest was a lot higher, actually. It was about £70 something, plus a lot of more money in postage because it was coming from abroad. Now, not to say that I don't want this for my collection, but I can't really afford to drop £42 on one game right now. I would rather use credit for it. But looking it up on eBay, I could very well have asked 70 quid for this. Even if I sold it for 60 after fees, I'm still making some money. But my question is, how long is this going to sit for? So if you're the type of person who has £42 in disposable income that you can leave to one side for a few weeks or months, then this may have been a good purchase. For me personally, I decided to leave it for someone who wanted it for their collection or someone who was willing to take the risk. But there are plenty of ways you can make money in CEX, and this was just a very brief jaunt through my CEX to see if I could make money here or there. Like I said, I did buy one of those games that I could flip for triple, even quadruple what I bought it for. Let me know if you do this regularly, or maybe you've tried it before and it didn't quite work, but now maybe you're thinking you're going to go try it again. If you have enjoyed this video and you want to see another one just like it, you can click here, and until the next time, goodbye.